Hi everybody. I decided it's time to film another chair yoga class so that folks don't feel left out, because we can't leave folks out. For this one, you might want a strap. I ordered seatbelt material and made multicolored straps that way. You can use an old necktie, an old belt, an actual yoga strap if you want to produce one of those from your house somewhere. And a nice sturdy chair, no wheels please. And make sure it has a back on it for this particular class. If you've been using a stool, wonderful. I don't know, I guess you could use that. We're just going to be doing some twisting through this ego space and holding onto the back of the chair just a little bit for the beginning. So welcome, and take a nice deep breath. I'm going to turn slightly askew so that I'm a little easier to see when we move from side to side, but start to think about the bottoms of the feet. Think about what it's like to walk around all day and to really not notice something. And I walk around all day long, and do I spend time noticing my feet? Not unless they hurt, really. Do I notice my ankles and how they function for me? Not really. The knees, the older we get, the knees, they talk a lot. So am I noticing what they're doing for me still? Because I've lost range of motion. There's a lot of things we can say, but am I noticing what they are doing for me? Breathe into those thoughts. How about my hips? What are my hips doing for me? Am I still finding support there? Because at the hips comes the root chakra. That's our energy center where we have our sense of home. We have the right to be here. We can breathe into that whole leg space and sigh it back out with gratitude, because these things are still, or maybe they're not. Just things to think about. And then I've got the belly space, belly button area. That's where my second chakra is. That's where I have the right to feel. That's where I'm moving through the universe with all of my highs and my lows right in here. And then today we're going to work on our ego space. And ego is not a bad thing. Ego is, it was explained to me once, it's what keeps us from getting hit by a bus. It makes us aware. But ego is where our creativity is. It's where our joy bubbles up from. It's where we have that sense of self. This is who I am and this is who I'm not. Who am I today? Who am I not today? I'm probably more grateful for who I'm not anymore than who I currently am. And stacked on top of that is heart chakra. That breath filters through the heart, and it's going to land right here in this ego space each time. So deepen that breath as you're sitting a little deeper into the body. You're sitting more squarely with the self. Holding hands and snuggling with the soul. Breathing, letting everything wash through that heart. The last year has been really interesting because people can't necessarily lead from ego space anymore. They're finding out that there's more in the heart space that we've ignored over the years, and then what? We'll feel it all. So let's fill that ego space today and slowly start to reach for one knee and then the other. And with it comes breath. So twisting is awesome for the spine. It's fantastic for the movement of the CSF fluid, but you've also got nerve endings that come out in between each vertebrae. And those nerve endings That's what's sending signals to the body. So anybody that's got back pain, you know, it's probably pretty constant. But if not, we're going to soothe these nerve endings with the twisting and see what messages it sends to the body. Start to extend a little more, twisting through this torso, and with it go your energy centers. Your energy centers actually extend out beyond the food body, as we call it, the flesh and bone. This time when you go off to one side, hold it there. So if I think of my energy centers as spheres, they don't just stay inside my body. They swirl out and around all through these different parts of my body. And they're stacked one on top of the other, and then they're scattered about in different places. And like nerve endings, they all talk to each other and they all share information. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then other side. So what information has your body system been sharing lately? If you're living in a household where everybody's just kind of had enough lately, the body language that we're sharing is just as important as the actual language. The hunched shoulders, or the head that's slightly tilted, or the frown that some people are developing as opposed to the smile. So can I undo any of that? Sure. Unwind, cross at the knees, arch the spine, breathe in. Notice it's a little hard to breathe. Breathe out, lift into cactus arms. Breathe in, free up that belly space. Breathe out, dive in, recross the arms in the opposite way. But it's not mandatory. Breathing in shallow. Exhaling as deeply as possible. Lift, cactus arms. Open belly space, breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more times, dive down into those knees, stretch across the back. Using the breath to open up right there at the back of the heart and the belly, and then come up. 1 more time, stretching and opening spine space so that those spheres have space in the back too. And then open up. Step those legs really wide, and then start to drop one shoulder in, and then the other. Little bitty twist. So now we're into groin space as well, getting into those inner thighs. And if we've got one side that's tighter than the other, then we're definitely going to favor one leg over the other. And then over time, that can cause hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain, foot pain. So we want to make sure that we're stretching evenly. If you have body parts that aren't agreeing with you today, just talk to them kindly. And maybe not move as deeply into the super mobile side so that it doesn't overstretch. 1 more time with this shoulder, then 1 more time with this shoulder. And then lift, cactus arms, come up, big breath into the chest. Move it down into that belly space. A little more of a sip, and then exhale. Drop over and see if the elbow and the thigh can have a little snuggle. Take that top arm, reach it out. If the shoulder is disagreeable, then the hand goes to the hip. Turn the back of the hand forward, slide it behind the low back, and then extend this bottom arm, and then give it a little press, not a huge press, but this press, I've got my teacher voice on, so just a little press. So I'll breathe through that too, because that's part of ego, because I've developed a teacher voice over the many eons that I've been teaching. So what happens if I put away my teacher voice? Okay. It becomes a little more authentic. And it's all about catching yourself, just like I caught myself. Breathe. Oh, look at what just left the body with that breath. Come back up into cactus arms. Full body breath down to the toes and then off to the other side. Oh, well, that side's tighter. Ah, just keeping it real, people, just keeping it real. Reach that top arm up unless that arm doesn't go there, and then we find the hip. But if the hand can reach, extend and spread those ribs, then the back of the hand turns forward. We come across that low back, bottom arm stretches, and then even the weight out on the pelvis again, because I was way out here in this left sits bone, so now I want to make sure that I'm in both. Breathe into chest space. Exhaling in and out. Moving that life-giving air right through that heart chakra. And then reach up. Find those cactus arms, hands to knees, heel, toe in. Right knee goes up and over. Clasp into that right shin. Let that heart come forward and then start to sneak back. Now this is why we don't use chairs with wheels, because we're going to sneak up. You can put the shoulder blades in the back of the chair if you want to, or you can hover. I'm currently not touching the back of the chair, but now I'm squeezing thighs into this energy space. I'm making the space a little tighter, but I'm still trying to keep my heart space open and my chest lifted to give myself as much space as I can. Breathing in. Breathing out, the toe comes down, curl down, see if you can get that forehead down here on this knee. One more breath, really squeezing in. So it's like a sponge in a sink. If I take a dry sponge and I drop it in the sink, it's going to suck up all of that water. So I'm then taking the sponge and I'm squeezing it. So I'm squeezing down through this center area so that when I open up right here and I open into cactus arms, then it's like soaking up fresh water. Take a turn to the right and just hold and see what starts to seep out. There could be joy. There could be grumbling. There could be, I don't know, visions of unicorns. Breathe in, breathe out, go the opposite way. So I'm having to use my upper back to hold the arms. I'm having to use the shoulders. I'm having to straighten up through the spine and make that DNA curve. Inhale, come forward, release that leg. Butterfly wings. Here we go. So we tighten it all up and then give it space. Tighten it up and give it space. So this is one of those yoga classes where, you know, if you've been real tight energetically or tight with your emotions lately, where you're trying to like not tell everybody off, this is going to be the class where you can come in and you can like tell yourself off and just and open up and make space. All right, opposite leg comes up and across. Nice. Lift up and in, scooch to the edge of that chair, but don't get bucked off. Lift it up, hold it. So now I'm squeezing into that shin. You could reach all the way down and hold down here if you wanted to. I'm sure most of you have figured that out. But we hold in and we're using the strength of the upper back to hold. Big breath in. Exhaling out. Putting it all down, curling down and in, making sure that the sits bones are nice and square on the chair. Lots of breath, so squeeze the sponge. Squeeze all of that energy water out of that sponge. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And then we're going to open up with cactus arms, and we're going to turn to the left. So we open, we bring in that fresh energetic water, and then we give it another little half squeeze, because we know we don't necessarily like to use a completely full sponge, right? Because then you pick it up and you try to wipe the counter down and it's dripping everywhere. So we kind of give it that half squeeze. Yes, and then off to the other side. Squeezing inner thighs together too. Holding, breathing. Come bottom, center, dislodge that leg, go wide, and then scoop down through the center, open up to one side, scoop down, and the other. Scoop. There we go. Scoop, scoop it, oop, scoop it. Back and forth. Loosen up the lower back. Yes, we want all of these energy centers to run top to bottom, nice and smooth. So we got to loosen up what's above and what's below. And then scoop through center, plant the feet nice and firm, and then take one hand and see if you can't reach down. Now, if that's too far of a reach for you, maybe grab a pillow, small pet of some sort. No, don't use a small pet. But reaching and then switching. Reaching and then switching. There we go. So for you, you may be way out in front. You could reach really far. Or maybe with a back issue or something. Or maybe a knee issue or a hip. Maybe that's too much. Just keep reaching, keep reaching. Nice. And then the next time the left hand reaches down, slide it across to the left foot or the left shin. See what happens there and push away with the right. Find the breath. Make this work for your body. Your body and my body aren't going to be the same. And then slide through, grab both thighs, and then the hand exchanges. If you're feeling very hunched, you may need to come all the way up. I realize I got skin showing. I apologize. It's bad manners. Breathe in. Breathe out, come to those thighs, and then cat arch that back all the way up. And sit all the way up. And then sit with the energy that's there. Connect with the bottom of the feet. Connect with the ankles. And the calves and the shins, the knees, thighs, hams. Take the pelvis, dip it slightly under so that the spine extends up nice and tall from it. Bring the attention into the belly. And then a huge breath in through the heart. Let it bottom out right here at the solar plexus. And then heel toe those feet in, reach down, grab your strap. Now the strap currently is for the arms. So just reaching up overhead. Now if you don't have shoulders, they're going to reach up and back like this. You know, maybe widen the strap even more and you're going to kind of go at an angle. It's up to you. But we're going to reach up and back. Now, don't squeeze as we say down south, don't squeeze the nanny out of the strap. This isn't about setting off our arthritis. This is about getting up through the shoulders so that I can open the chest, open the belly, then come forward with the micro movement so that I'm really safe in the shoulders. If I need to take cactus arms to protect the shoulders, then I take cactus arms. I can move them a little further together and come in, and then I can make my biceps. But then we're going to lift this right knee, and then we're going to extend the heel out, and then bend and reach, working on that abdominal region, all those core muscles. Oh yeah, reaching up through those hands if you can. One more time, extend that heel out. Now here's the trick. Either take the heel and just kiss the knee, or take that heel and kiss the ankle. So turn it, move it in. Oh, inner thigh work. But this is really going to churn down here in that root chakra. And down in those feelings, you might feel like shouting things at me. And that's okay. Shout them. I can't hear you. And then put that foot down, arms come down. And notice what the big heavy lifting does to your system. Well, I've done enough lately. Okay. That's why yoga mimics life. All right, you've done enough lately, so back off. Or I haven't done enough lately. Oh, been real immobile. Okay, so do more. Just awareness. Reach up, reach back, open those collarbones, open the chest, stretching across pectoralis major and minor. Inhale. Exhale. Come back through neutral, even if that's cactus arms. Left leg is going to lift and then straighten. Now I've got something going on in this left hip. I've got a muscle that's just really unruly. So I'm going to take this side a little slower than I did with my right side, so I make sure that I'm not actually injuring myself. I'm going to reach out and then I'm going to test because maybe, oh, this motion actually feels better. So for you, it might be the opposite. Kicking out, bringing in. So you might be coming in at the ankle, which is perfectly fine. You might be having your heel on the floor and then touching the ankle. It's all about modification and then bring it all down and in. Find the feet. Find the points of the pelvis, the points of the shoulders, and then the very tip of the head. Look for the balance space. Breathing in. All right. Strap is going to come down. Reach around the bottom of the foot. Now, this isn't necessarily a pull and grip and hold. It's a stabilization technique. Okay, so if you need to put a little knot in this, or you need one that's even longer, press pause, go and find a longer one, because this can be done with the back of the hand just as easily. All right, so this is just a twist. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I've got enough going on here so that when I twist and I pull, I've got a little extra going on, okay? So I'm going to take my left leg out to the side. I'm going to open up, and if that means I've got to get down in here, then I can open up. Awesome. So left hand goes over the back. The head follows the arm if it can. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. And then the arm unwinds. I'm going to reach down, hold here nice and gentle, lift that left arm and give it a little pull. So I've barely got 2 fingers pulling here. I want to make sure I'm really nice and secure. If I need to put the hand down on the shin, I could put the hand down on the shin. But I'm just, giving myself a little push me, pull you, a little tug or toe. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now, if you don't want to do this lift, don't do the lift, but you can lift up and out. That's where you get your biceps and your upper back strength from. This is where we're fighting osteoporosis in the upper body. Inhale. Exhale. Let that foot come down first. Slide it through, and then everybody's favorite, hook it up on top of that knee or down by the ankle, pull it in, strap just stays there, and then lean over. If you need to turn back straight in your chair because you got a funky shape in the seat of the chair, turn back straight. All right, so then we're going to get that little ego twist, that left arm and right leg. I'm going to give it a little lean forward and a little bit of a twist to free up any trapped energy in the right side of this body. Find your breath. Rein those thoughts in. All right, unwind, roll up, assist that leg off. Nice. Unwrap, redo, And away we go again. So I'm going to face you to make sure I don't. All right, open up that right leg. Okay, then I'm going to take that either here or here, just to add a little bit of an ability to lift up and away. And then that right arm just sits over the chair, and then the head turns if it needs to. It might not feel like much, but start making micro movements. And then notice where the sole of this foot is and where the heel of the left foot is. Breathing in, breathing out, unwind, maybe grab a little further down the thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. Opening those energy spaces. Inhale, lift up. Ah, nice. Lift this leg up and over. Oh, yeah. Lift and lean as I make my squinchy face. I do believe I've found the muscle in this left hip. It is very present in this posture. So this is just a modified pigeon posture. Modified figure 4, whatever you want to call it. All right, right forearm, left leg, reach and twist. This may make it better. This may make it worse. This may be neither one nor the other. And then unwind. Oh, I realize we didn't do the hold. So lifting up and in, holding up and in. So now I've got this osteoporosis work because these muscles up in this upper back and in this arm, if you need to put the leg down because the hand is painful, do so. But now I'm pulling on the bones. So it's time under tension. I need to pull on the bones with the muscles in order to fight osteoporosis. It's a chemical reaction that happens. Breathe in, breathe out, put that foot down, slide back forward. Ooh, actually, better transition there. Heels come out. And then walking down and in. Another reason we don't use chairs with wheels. If it's too much on the heels, then maybe you might want to kick up and out and stretch the backs of those hamstrings that way. Or you might want to do one at a time. Put one foot on the floor, stretch one leg, one foot, and stretch the other. Inhale. Exhale. Roll it up. Take that strap, drop it away. And then just settle in. Palms open if you can. You could always put your feet up in another chair, on the couch or the coffee table or something. Find the bottoms of the feet. Move into our little meditation portion. Notice whether you're heavier in one foot than the other. And if so, which foot is it? If my right foot is heavier in the floor, that's the masculine side of my body, and I've been doing lately. I've been surviving. But if my right foot is heavy in the floor, that's my feminine side. And so I've been exerting maybe more emotion, more creativity. So press until they're even and notice if that alleviates any pain. Slide into hip space and low back space. See if you can make yourself just a little more comfortable. Breath into that belly space. Really let the belly poof out. And then exhale it all the way out. And loosen up the jaw. Space between top teeth and bottom teeth. And either blink the eyes closed or take a soft focus or a one-pointed focus. And just start to witness the breath. I didn't understand what that meant long ago when I started this back in 2003. Witness the breath. I was like, I'm breathing. What? What happens if I feel the air on the back of the throat and then feel it as it leaves? Cooler as it goes in. Warmer and more humidified as it goes out. Following the breath. And then breath is energy and breath is light. Pull in those molecules and let them settle right down through the bottoms of the lungs into the belly space. Making sure the tongue is nice and loose in the base of the mouth. See if you can take that energy even further down to the base of the pelvis. Breathing all the way down and all the way out. Follow the energy as it enters in through the nose or the mouth. Follow the energy that leaves the body. Breathing it in. Asking things to leave that need to leave. And then just sitting with the self. 1 full minute. And beginning to wiggle fingers and the jaw. Maybe sliding forward into the feet. Give the torso a few circles. With loosening of the ego comes a little more ease in life. It releases competition. It releases the I must do's and the I need to be's just like this. What if I just need to be just like this? So compassion starts with the self first, and then we disseminate it from there. So with the breath, it moves through the heart into compassion for self. And just like I caught myself earlier, it's catching yourself. That's what awareness is. Awareness is catching yourself. Catch yourself and breathe. So thank you for joining me. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. so much gratitude to you for continuing your own personal journey, for pushing through some days when it doesn't seem so easy, and finding the compassion for yourself on the other days. Oh, things have changed. Cool. What's next? All right. See you guys on the flip side.